Alright then everyone, how's it going? Not very well is the correct answer because we're now, almost a month into this lockdown thingy? And yeah, it's just not very fun, is it? I think I've mentioned this at the start of every video since COVID-19 came to the UK. I guess it's just something that everyone can relate to and it makes for a good intro, so if you haven't seen my last video, I made a video pretty much on COVID-19 conspiracy theories. They're all very, very bad. And it doesn't take an Einstein to acknowledge that they're just not good. I briefly mentioned a conspiracy theory that said we were on lockdown because countries were preparing for World War III. Yeah, well, I found it in my camera roll, so yeah, let's just have a look at this together. I've blurred out any usernames because I don't want these people getting spammed with messages. But yeah, here it is. Damn, this do be adding up. You lot have completely forgotten about World War III. A lie. Let's be honest, you think Iran is gonna allow for someone that big and known to die without major retaliation? Well, unless Iran was actively looking to start a nuclear war, which I don't think has happened in the history of mankind ever. Like, just imagine being a president. In what situation would you want to have a war with someone, or just being a civilian? No one wants a war, no one. That's why World War III hasn't happened in the first place. That's why we've not had a major war since, I think World War II or the Cold War, I don't know, but if I'm not mistaken, I think every war happening around the world at the moment is some kind of civil war, or at least there aren't any wars including a country's military against another country's military. Corona is a mixture of flu and cold. I mean, it's not. Why do we need tanks for a cold? Use your brain. Sorry, what? That sentence doesn't even suit your theory. Why is that? What? Why is that sentence there? Why do we need tanks for a cold? I just don't understand. That sentence... No, what does he mean? Does he think we're using tanks to protect us from a cold or something? No one owns a tank, and if they did, no, it's got nothing to do with the coronavirus. What can you do? Shoot the cold, fam? The government's corrupt. It isn't. By keeping us on lockdown allows for them to have time to set up for war. How does keeping people on lockdown help for them to have time to set up for a war? And ignore that, whoever wrote this thinks that COVID-19 is a mutation of the flu and cold. Just because it's in the same family doesn't make it a genetic mutation of the two. There are viruses that can infect other viruses, but I'm not sure if they can genetically, reproduce, I guess. Or they can't combine. The only reason they can make more of themselves is by entering a living cell. So how are you going to trust someone who doesn't know what COVID-19 even is? But yeah, moving on from that, another thing that people are still doing on Snapchat and have been doing for years, they mostly consist of teenage girls, so, the Einsteins of this generation. They'll go on a website like Pinterest, for example. If you don't know what that is, then good, but it's basically just Instagram with no comments. And yeah, they'll find a quote like this, for example, and put it on their story because, Okay, so I've had a think for a full 5 minutes and I can't come up with one reason as to why they do it. I just don't get it. Why would you want to put that on your story for? The thing is, they don't have to explicitly say that they feel depressed. It's just a quote that they want you to feel sympathy for them for. Like this one, that doesn't explicitly say that, I feel depressed. But it does definitely scream, please respond to this story so I can send back the words "don't worry" to you, to make you feel useless because it's cool to do that. I just don't, literally, this probably isn't the reason they do it. I mean, it definitely is a high possibility. But regardless of the reason, you're still a bit of a twat. Pretending to be depressed to get replies. Well, I mean, your life has definitely reached a high point. And I'm not even being sarcastic there. Chances are, if you actually do that, then that is the high point of your life, sadly. Oh yeah, and on the topic of that, I'm not going to mention any names because I'm not a moron, but there was this person who I know, she goes to my school. She tried to convince me that she slit her wrist because she drew pen marks on her arm. I mean, it wasn't initially obvious, but I worked it out with my big brain. But yeah, you don't need me to tell you that. That is honestly probably one of the worst things you can do. And I don't know why you'd fake it. I wasn't even really friends with this person, I guess. I mean, I talked to her, but still, in terms of what you got in return, I have no idea. But if you do actually do this, please keep in mind that you're very disrespectful and quite frankly a bellend. But yeah, moving on, this one isn't really as serious because it's not on the topic of suicide or depression. I'm not sure if anyone else you know did this, but a lot of people literally were just posting pictures of fruit on their story. There was someone who put a picture of an orange on their story and it was literally just an orange on a table. Like, what is this? Why are people on Snapchat just so stupid? Like, I don't use it as much as you might think because I'm not 8, or at least I thought it was for like 8-year-olds. Like whenever I open Snapchat and I go onto like the front page or whatever where you like see your contacts, I guess I always think to myself, Am I using a kids app here? Because it looks exactly like, I don't know, like it just looks like it's for kids. The only reason I still have Snapchat is to like talk to the people who I actually give one about who use it. Like Instagram, Twitter, or even WhatsApp, like they're all better in my opinion. Please don't kill me over that. But yeah, in conclusion, Snapchat is not full of intellectuals as you might think. I don't hate it or anything, but I'm definitely not a fan. But yeah, anyways, everyone, hopefully you enjoyed today's video. Follow me on Twitter and on Instagram. The links are down below in the description. And obviously leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed. But yeah, that's pretty much all from me. So have a nice day and stay home, protect the NHS, and ultimately save lives. Oh, jolly good banter. No, I'm joking. Goodbye.